Alright, these guys are being extremely silly in the background. We're going to turn off the light in a minute and show you a recording that we made on our phone. We're going to turn it back on. Oh! Oh! Catch the dot, y'all! Catch that dot! Oh! Anyway, we're going to show you an experiment we did because little Phoenix here has this tendency to call me a liar, and she didn't believe that water would freeze outside. We taught her a lesson. It is so cold outside right now that it is, and I will give you official, 19 degrees with a 1 degree. This is how it feels outside. I can't remember what you call that. This is how it feels. What do you call that?
Cold as shit.
Okay, there you go.
Siberia!
Cold as donkey donk booty out there. So, you can turn out the light now, and I'm going to pause this. Right? And remember, I'm doing this backwards, so please forgive me. Hey, this is Joy Phoenix, and
Lieutenant Roscoe, we're going to do a science experiment tonight, y'all.
We're going to do it with little Bryanna Phoenix. She's wearing my security hat instead of the God the Father hat I asked her to put on, which is who is sponsoring us. We are ambassadors for them. But anyway, somebody here called me a liar about how quickly water would freeze on my windshield, because I told her that we had put some on my windshield to get the dirt off last night, and it froze solid within 5 minutes. So we're going to set a timer, and she's going to record Uncle Baker putting this up on the windshield and hope to God that she doesn't get wet. So, you can't turn it towards you. You got to hold it just right. Okay.
Called myself a bunch of house sheep, remember?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'll just see y'all. Hey guys, it's still recording.
See me or not. Tilt the phone down a little bit.
And just hit pause after he does it.
Tilt it.
Tilt?
There you go.
Baby, you have got to listen when people tell you how to do things.
Nope. Stop right there. Don't know how well you can see me, but we'll see how well this works. Hopefully it's cold will last. Next time, make sure I have it before you go letting go, Missy. Okay, we're going to come back here in about 5-10 minutes and see if this actually freezes like it did last night. Don't know if it will, but we'll see. Be right back, y'all.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was the first part of the video, so we'll make sure that you guys can see the rest here in just a second. Okay, here we go, folks. And remember, I'm doing this backwards, so it's a little fun to do. So here we go.
I hope this worked, y'all, but here's a little experiment we tried. We poured water on the windshield to prove to little Miss Phoenix here that the water would freeze. Feel that. Put your hand up there. Feel that. See, the water's frozen. That's how cold it is, folks, in Oklahoma right now. Don't know how cold it is where you're at. Drop us a line and let us know. Last time I checked, it was about 15 degrees. Anyway, y'all, hope you enjoyed. A little experiment there to prove little Miss Missy wrong. But hopefully I didn't mess up the video by hitting pause and all that whatnot. But we'll get back to you.
Okay, folks, we're back on. So that was our little experiment that we did with little Phoenix. But to continue on, we're going to be doing things like that periodically. My little one has been up for a long time today, and she hasn't had her ADHD medicine, her Ritalin, in a little while. And as you can tell, she is bouncing off the walls, so we are going to make this a fairly quick recording. Mr. Duke, thank you. Don't you play with my phone now. Mr. Duke has a story that he's going to be sharing with us. Come on in there, Roscoe. Come on in, Uncle Roscoe. Anyway, Duke is going to share his story, and Roscoe may have one, and if Roscoe has one, I will try. But I'm not going to promise I'm going to just throw one out there, because we try not to tell anything that's not true. So, we are thinking about changing some of our content, and we would like suggestions on what kind of content that you would like us to do. We are considering doing lost children. And trying to help put out some notices and some, we're trying to put out some notices and try to help find some of these kids and, kind of help with awareness a little bit. So if you guys have any suggestions about any lost children that you'd like us to talk about, any specific stories that you would like us to talk about, please let us know, and we will research it and we can talk about some of that. But for tonight, we're going to keep doing our own personal stories. So without any further delay, here comes Corporal Duke. I almost called him Corporal Roscoe. I hate this name change thing. Remember, we don't use our real names on here, and we do that on purpose. But these two are in my book that will be being published. This is Bo. That one is Baker. And those are their nicknames, real names, in the book. And I can't get out of the way. I'm like hitting something. Do you want to sit in the chair?
Yeah, you're hitting your feet.
You get in the chair.
Excuse us here. We're trying to get
I should have
situated.
paused it.
That's all right. So when I was little, way back when, here in Oklahoma, we have this little drive-through zoo called Arbuckle Wilderness.
I got one.
Really fun to go to. If you're ever in Oklahoma, those that are in Oklahoma, if you haven't gone, go. Good place. It's got go-karts, paddle boats, games.
Sorry.
Okay. Sorry about that. Little Miss Phoenix had too much to drink. Anyway, when I was young, we had went to Arbuckle Wilderness, and we were in our van. My grandmother was driving. She went down. She had looked to her left, her right, to pick something up, and when she turned around, exactly like this, a giraffe had stuck his head inside the window.
I'm the giraffe. I'm the giraffe.
Wrong side.
Okay. I'll be the giraffe. Okay, I won't be the giraffe. He'll be the giraffe.
So anyway, yeah, excuse me if I let play with.
Sorry.
So anyway,
Continue story. We had to play it off. Y'all.
Yeah. we do like to play with each other. That hurts. Oh. Everybody make Roscoe smile. He's a little upset right now. Hi.
You made him drop his cherry.
Cherry.
Okay, story. Continue story.
Anyway,
Giraffe head right here.
so anyway, when the trap stuck his head in, it scared my grandmother half to death. She like, we ain't coming back here again. And it's like, we haven't been back. Ready for your story?
I got one.
Stop.
What? I was just playing with your bald spot. Love you.
I got one.
It's not a bald spot.
I got one.
It's not bald.
How about when I went to the zoo?
It wasn't me.
I know. I saw who it was. Oh, and if you like any of this content, please like and subscribe.
You might hit the
And hit
record.
that.
You might hit the record to do that.
Is
Pause.
it been on pause all this time?
Yeah, you paused it.
How? I didn't even touch it.
Yes, you did. You paused it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, it is recording. Okay, down there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so hit that like button. Hit that notification bell for future videos. If you want me to break Joy's hand, give me a like and subscribe, and a timestamp of when you heard me say it.
My partners forgot that we're supposed to have a transition in between people on here, and yeah, they didn't leave a transition. But if we're going to be telling funny stories, you want to tell about Scooter and Rosie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you tell about Scooter and Rosie. Let's hear your story. Why is Rosie scared of doggies?
Because when Rosie was a baby, she actually ran. She actually crawled up to him, grabbed his third leg, and pulled him off the couch.
Wow.
And then he got mad, and then you know what happened? He growled like that.
Let me clarify the story.
Matter.
My little baby Rosie was learning how to walk. The poodle was up on the couch.
Oh no.
He would let them pull on his hair, his ears, his little nub of the tail. This sucker right here actually saw him pull his tongue out a couple of times. And he wouldn't care, nothing, not a thing. He wouldn't move. He just let them do whatever they wanted. My little Rosie, when she was a baby, even tried to ride him. And he was about a mid-sized poodle, about that tall. Now, that being said, as she was learning how to walk, she walks up to the couch.
Right side.
And she goes, "Ooh, doggy!" And she reaches up to try to pet him. Well, he backs up. He's an older dog, and he didn't really want to be petted at that point in time. Well, he didn't back up far enough. She went to grab at him, missed the paw, and grabbed his third leg. She just went right past everything else that was sitting there close and grabbed his third leg, and she yanked it. I mean, she didn't just, woohoo! She went, woohoo! Pulls him off the couch.
The doggy goes,
Yeah, pretty much. He ran in a circle for a minute, whining, growling. Then he stopped, looks at her, and started running circles around her, growling and barking at her, trying to teach her a lesson. And I'm trying to get this story out before I, kill my daughter. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. No.
That's why we keep around in here.
Stop. So sorry, y'all. But anyway, as I said, that's why my little Rosie is scared of doggies.
And she doesn't want to touch them.
So now we're going to pause some video for just a second and see if Mr. Roscoe has a story. And if he does, when this comes back on, he will be here. Bye-bye.
Hi, y'all. This is Lieutenant Roscoe. You two shut the hell up. You shut the hell up. Don't need no more commentary in the background.
Well, you're gonna get commentary in the background.
I got a brand new knife that I'd love to break in. Don't fuck my damn bean. Leave it alone. Gonna make us get kicked off of YouTube. Stop!
I'm sorry. I didn't think I had to do it to you.
Yeah, I love you too. Now get off me. Hi, y'all. This is Lieutenant Roscoe. Excuse the commentary.
and whatnot. It's been a fun-filled frozen evening. We're trying not to freeze our giblets and other extremities off.
Oh,
Too
speaking of which, warm me up.
I can do that. Just don't press too hard. Okay, you get your hands out. You ain't no female. I got a brand new knife that I just got today. I'd love to break it in.
Hey, kind of like, right here.
And, I'm going to cut me off some veal. You don't knock it off.
Let's pull this down just a little.
Why? I was happy with it where it is. Now it looks like I got a Mardi Gras body and a bracelet head. Okay, I'm going to hurt the both of you when we get off this video. You want me to share this story or not?
Yes.
Hurry up.
please.
All right, then. Both of y'all, knock it the heck off then.
You know you love me.
Please and thank you. Yes, you can.
And you know you love me, so.
Only when the weather's nasty. Anyway, y'all, I apologize for that, and hopefully y'all get a kick out of this. This is the way we normally are. God help us all.
We
Anyway.
love poking and prodding at each other. That's why I say these guys are my brothers.
Uh-huh. Damn kids. Can't
Be
live with
nice
them
or
and
I'm
can't
taking
kill
your
them.
beanie.
Don't you dare take my beanie. No. I will never come out here again. You can check on y'all.
Oh, you were a liar.
No, I'm not.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm just teasing. Now tell your story, please.
Anyway,
Come on, Lieutenant.
at one point in time, I was like 8, 9 years old. 8 and 9 years old. I was both. I was somewhere between 8 and 9 years old.
Back
And
in the Stone Age.
I was going to do a gesture, but I don't want to get kicked off YouTube. So, anywho, shut up. Anywho, I was about 8, 9 years old, and my dad comes home with this new puppy. And he was a cute little booger, looked like he was a little bigger than normal. But he tells me that he's the runt of the litter. After about 2 months, we realized that the person who gave my dad the puppy did not give us the runt of the litter. He gave us the biggest puppy in there. And the oddball thing about this puppy is he was part German Shepherd, part
Rottweiler.
part Rottweiler, and part Great Dane.
Big old boy.
By the time this puppy was 5 months old, he was already weighing almost 180 pounds. Because his mama was a Rottweiler, and apparently 2 daddies either snuck in or mama snuck out, and the other 2 animals that were his daddy were Great Dane and German Shepherd. So it made a blend of 12 cute little puppies that looked like all 3 mixed into one. And like I said, we thought we got the runt of the litter. No, we got the biggest one out of the bunch. And as I was saying, by the time he hit about 5 months old, he was somewhere around 180 pounds. He was huge. By the time he was a full-on year old, I could ride him like a horse.
Yeah!
To the point I would literally ride him almost 3 miles up the road to the 7-Eleven, and about a mile further from the 7-Eleven was a McDonald's. And I used to ride him through the McDonald's drive-thru. One day I did this, and here's the cool part. He was so well trained, the only thing we found that we could use for a collar for him was a chunk of log chain and a heavy-duty padlock. And I would hang on to that, and I would literally, bareback, no saddle, ride him like a freaking horse. Well, when we get to 7-Eleven, I would literally snap my fingers and tell him to sit, and he'd sit there and watch me go through the door and watch me through the glass. Never bothered anybody, never growled, never bit at anybody. He sat there patiently, no leash, and waited for me to come out of 7-Eleven. I'd look at him and say, "Are you ready?" He'd look at me like, "Okay, George, I'm ready," if he could talk. And I'd hop back on him, and we'd go to McDonald's. It was funny when I paid for the food because that lady didn't notice what I was on. She just handed me the change, and we went up to the next window. The lady who went to hand me the food, I almost died laughing and fell off my dog and his name of what we named him was Fred. And I got to laughing so hard that I almost fell off of Fred because when that lady went to hand me the food, I'm surprised she didn't drop the food. But she let out a curdling scream and went and grabbed her manager and said, "Look out the window and see what the hell he's on." Manager sticks her head out and Fred looks up, and if he could talk, he'd have been like, "Hello, I'm Fred." With a big smile on his face, tongue sticking out. And by the way, he was so big that the part of his tongue that would stick out of his mouth was probably every bit of that long.
Why didn't you name him Clifford?
I mean, he could lick my whole face as it is now in one lick. He was that big. And the manager thought it was neater than heck, and the first question out of her mouth, "Is that a horse?" And I'm like, "No, that's my dog." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." Well, here's where it gets even funnier. I'm sitting there, and I went up to the crosswalk and hit the little button waiting to cross the street. When a little light turned from red to white, saying walk, I was like, "All right, come on, Fred, let's go." And as we're crossing the street, there was a cop at the intersection at the light going the same direction I was. He was so focused on me and Fred and the fact that I was riding him across the street that he almost drove into two cars waiting on the other side of the light. And he's sitting there looking like, "What the hell?" And whatnot. People are sitting there looking. One guy was sticking his phone out, going click, 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 taking pictures and whatnot, best he could and all that, whoop-de-woo and everything else. And everything, it was just funny riding my dog like a horse.
Was he about the size of a mini pony? Because they're about feet tall, maybe.
Yeah.
Head would be about where your shoulder is.
Yeah, his head would be about another 6 inches higher. That'd be where his back was. He was that big. At 2. At 2, ladies and gentlemen, he weighed almost 280 pounds. He was massive. His paws were like this big around or bigger. He had a funny way of greeting you. He would literally stand on his back legs, drape one of his legs over his shoulders, and stare at you nose to nose. And if you didn't introduce yourself and say, "Hi, Fred, it's me, Jeremy," or whatever your name was, he would then open his mouth and put the top of his head here and the bottom of his jaw here, and you'd literally be staring down his throat. And he'd be doing a like growl. And if you moved, he would then slam you down to the ground and curl you up in a ball and put his face right here over yours while you're curled up in a ball. And if you made the wrong move, he would literally bite you. He almost did it to me until he learned who I was, and he almost did it to my mother. Which my mother was stupid at 2 o'clock in the morning coming over to see my dad for some reason and forgot to introduce herself. Fred said hi. She went, "Oh shit," and said, "Fred, it's me." And Fred pulled his face away, looked at her, and Fred went, "Oh shit," and thought he did something wrong. It took us an hour to get Fred out from underneath his doghouse because he thought he did something wrong. Which he didn't. He did exactly what we trained him to do. If you came on Fred's property and didn't announce yourself, you got turned into a ball and you'd squeal like a girl.
Isn't this the same one you were talking about, the trampoline? Jumping on the train?
No. Different dog. But anyhow, folks, it's getting late and everything. I'm starting to get hungry again. Got to feed the twins and everything. But if y'all like our videos and everything, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding ding. Drop a comment if you want to hear comments on stories and all that whatnot. Woo-de-woo. Miss Phoenix, you got something to throw in there before we hang up and say goodnight?
Yeah, I actually have one joke, and I've gotten these suckers with it at least twice now. Quick question. Why do kangaroos not like bad weather? Baker. I'm sorry. Roscoe.
What?
Ooh. Can I answer?
Yes.
Because the kids play inside.
Bye-bye from Oklahoma, y'all.
Later.
Y'all come back now, you heat.
It stopped.